Poverty, and how Catholics can help. So, what is poverty? Poverty is a drastic lack of necessities and possessions which overall have a negative effect on the quality of life of individuals, which can include having limited access to clothing, food, education, shelter, safety, and healthcare. Several factors contribute to poverty and the levels of poverty in certain areas. These include drought, low productivity, limited education, as well as a low economic income. A lack of material income as well as unemployment is also a common occurrence within people living in poverty. Did you know that poverty is responsible for the deaths of more than 6 million children before their 5th birthdays? 1 in 9 doesn't have enough access to food, and people living in extreme poverty live on less than $1.90 a day. So what are the economic, social, historical, and/or cultural factors to consider with poverty? Several factors intervene in regards to the impact on poverty. For example, lack of education, cultural and religious discrimination, overpopulation, unemployment, and corruption. Socio-economic factors which majorly impact the level of poverty include the place of residence, occupation, education, income, and wealth. In 1966, an American scientist wrote an essay on poverty, claiming that depending on the place of birth, parental occupation, or other prior existing issues which cannot be altered from birth, a person's level of poverty can be increased or decreased without control. An example of this is if a child is born with parents who have a severe drug addiction as well as a lack of ambition to receive income, the child therefore suffers and once old enough will have to work strenuously to change the present situation or will be heavily affected by poverty. This can lead to other life-threatening issues such as homelessness and depression. Above passage follows the principles of Catholic teaching, most specifically the preferential option of the poor, as by being followers of God we are challenged to take this option namely, and to create conditions for marginalised voices to be heard, to defend the defenceless, and to assess lifestyles, policies and social institutions in terms of their impact on the poor. So, what action should be taken by Catholics to address this situation, and what can you do to help? By participating in organisations such as World Vision and the Salvation Army and donating goods which are no longer needed and can benefit others, Catholics can contribute to assisting the issue of poverty. Catholics can also work together to host fundraisers for those in poverty as well as offer their support as fellow Catholics rather than turning a blind eye on the problem faced by members of their community. Other non-profit organisations such as Vinnies and food vans accept voluntary actions from the public, such as helping out with handing out food and donations to those in need without asking for anything in return, in order to show their compassion and gratitude to the needy. Through this presentation, Catholics should take the aspects of how communities can come together to help those in need and how sometimes lending a helping hand is all it takes to change a life.